NBC News Radio.
One person is reported dead in an explosion blamed on a construction accident at Coryell Memorial Hospital in Gatesville, about 35 miles west of Waco. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
Heather Locklear rushed to the hospital due to an overdose. This is your entertainment wrap-up for NBC News Radio. I'm Andrew Caravella. The good gets bad and the bad gets ugly. Heather Locklear has ended up in our wrap-up for the second time this week. According to TMZ, the 56-year-old was rushed to the hospital in the evening on June 25th after police were called to her home on a report that someone had overdosed on Monday afternoon. A video from the news outlet shows an ambulance leaving Locklear's Thousand Oaks, California home just shortly after she returned home from jail. Now, if you remember, less than 24 hours earlier, emergency responders were at Heather's home. TMZ broke the story. She was arrested for kicking an EMT and punching a police officer Sunday night. She posted $20K in bail Monday morning and headed home. More on the story as it develops. Now in other news, Lindsay Lohan is planning an MTV reality show. Vulture is reporting that in her absence from Hollywood, the actress has become an international businesswoman. She's opened a Greek beach club along a healthy stretch of the Kalo Lavati beach, according to the New York Times. Lohan has plans to open another beach club on the island of Rhodes and to design a Lohan Island in Dubai. Her next move, an MTV reality show about the properties. She's planning for a Vanderpump Rules style reality show for MTV centered around the club. And just added to the wrap-up, Cher gets brutally honest after seeing a preview of her Broadway show. She says it needs work. The pop icon, who was quoted as saying some parts of it are really fabulous, we're going to work on the other parts. Cher, who is 72, told the Chicago Tribune on Sunday that in many parts it was much, much better than she thought it would be. Cher's career has spanned more than 50 years in the music industry. And that's your entertainment wrap-up right here on 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, and The Legacy at 1050 AM, right here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. For NBC News Radio, I'm Andrew Caravella.
This segment of broadcasting brought to you by Tender Hearts TLC Incorporated. Tender Hearts, the helping hands for your loved ones, where they understand it can be difficult to find time in your already busy schedule to attend to all the needs of your aging loved one. Tender Hearts will be there for your loved one when you can't be. Tender Hearts TLC helps your aging loved ones stay in their home as they specialize in tender, loving, 24-hour service, including transportation to doctor's appointments, medication reminders, meal preparation, light housekeeping, and assistance with activities of daily living such as hygiene and grooming, orientation, and companionship. We thank Tender Hearts for their support of this station. Tender Hearts TLC, where they don't just care for your loved one, they give them tender, loving care. For more info, you can reach them at 909-528-9759. That's 909-528-9759 for Tender Hearts TLC. When Michelle lost her job, her home, and her children because of her addiction, she was desperate to make a change. She felt hopeless. Then she discovered Cedar House Life Change Center in Bloomington. Their staff showed Michelle how to live drug-free and be the mother she always knew she could be. You know what it feels like to be trapped in your addiction? Too many people in our community feel that way every day. That's why Cedar House is here to help with a range of residential and outpatient care. To support the mission of recovery, visit cedarhouse.org, where they say, "Come grow with us."
KCAA.
Welcome to the WeTube Radio Show with your host, Andrew Caravella and Manny Boy Sandoval. The WeTube Radio Show, where we talk everything YouTube. And now here's your host, Andrew Caravella and Manny Boy Sandoval.
Good evening, Andrew Caravella with
Manny Boy Sandoval. How are you guys all doing out there today? Good? Good? Yeah, I think they said good.
That's a rhetorical question, isn't it?
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
literally a rhetorical question. So it is the WeTube Radio Show, where we do talk everything YouTube and in the social media world. It's literally the best radio show ever, according to Manny Boy.
That was last week, but it's even better now because today we have a very special guest.
We do. Very special. She is amazing. I think, honestly, she's an inspiration to a lot of people. And if you don't know her, she'll be an inspiration to you with after the next hour, I promise you. So
Exactly. You don't want to miss this next one.
You don't want to. So, but before we get to her, we have some headlines we have to get to.
We have some headlines
in the social media world, and
this one is a little bit. Yes.
Before you tell them this story, let's just go over the history of how this story made the show today.
Right.
You
okay.
sent me a text, and
I
I'm like,
was out earlier in the day, and I sent Andrew a text, and I was like, "Listen, we should probably discuss this story today. I'm not like a fan, but I follow this person on social media.
Yeah. And I just sent a bunch of angry emojis.
Maybe that does make me a fan. Yeah, Andrew did send a lot of angry emojis. He had a lot to say about this. I could read you some of his very vile text messages that he sent me regarding this person and this story.
Well, they weren't vile. They were just very
vile, right?
They were very structured critiques.
They sounded very angry too at the same time.
Well, so tell them what the story is.
Okay, so first off, former Vine star, because I mean he got famous off of Vine.
And
Vine no
doesn't
longer exists. Yeah.
Anymore.
So Cameron Dallas has a record deal. Social media star partners with Columbia Records, which is the same record label as Beyonce.
That means nothing at all.
So I sent the headline to Andrew, and he said he's in it for a world of hurt. Going to be difficult for him to compete with the big boys.
That's a true story.
Takes more than being pretty to be a music act. I have seen what he has done at his MagCon thing.
Yeah,
he runs around on stage yelling on a mic.
He does. I mean, Cameron Dallas is not a singer. Cameron Dallas is not a rapper. Cameron Dallas is a social media influencer who does modeling for Dolce & Gabbana. That's it.
He just might be, though. I'm definitely going to check out his music. I feel like I understand where you're coming from. Like, sometimes it's tough when people are overlooked and they have some actual, like, raw talent. He's going to be profiting off of his name. I say if you see a business in anything, make your money off of it and run before there's no more left in it.
And more power to him, but...
Right.
Somebody who is actually a recording artist, once upon a time,
right?
This is wrong. This is wrong to like the fullest extent. It's not going to be good. What is he going to rap about? He's from Chino.
Right. He could probably rap about like his love life or something, or any of the issues Chino has going on in the city.
It's going to be interesting, and
he'll rap about his Dolce & Gabbana ads.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. You know, when his Chasing Cameron came out on Netflix, it had 5 stars right at the beginning because of all the teeny boppers,
right.
And then after 1 week, it literally was down to a half a star or a star and a half. It wasn't good.
I heard it was bad. Yeah,
it wasn't good at all. So I don't really think the music is going to follow suit, whether he has fans or not. You know, fans they want creativity and stuff. They don't want just, oh, you're Cameron Dallas, I'll support you and love everything that you do.
I'm sure some people will.
Some will, but kids nowadays are way more like hypocritical and very more judgmental. And I think if it's not good, it's going to show.
Right. I think either way, I think a lot of the younger people, it's all about the streams these days. He's going to sell some records just based off of streams alone. People may not go out and purchase his album directly, but they're going to stream it, that's for sure. And that's going to give them those sales, which, I mean, they're going to make some kind of money off of it. But back to the Variety article. It says, within the past like couple of weeks, he's had meetings with the label brass about the direction of his music. And his music's on the agenda, and something should be coming. Something should be coming this summer.
I can't even see his music. Like he already owns it, you know?
Right.
I can't do this. I can't. What is he going to write about?
So Columbia Records is one of the oldest labels in the U.S. and is home to such superstar acts such as Bruce Springsteen, Adele, Beyonce, and John Mayer. I wonder what they think about it.
You know, Shawn Mendes, he was actually a social media
They're
star.
Friends, yeah.
That has nothing to do with
right,
this.
I'm just saying they were actually friends, which is kind of funny. They both started on Vine.
But he played guitar, and I mean, and even though I don't care for the Biebs, he played guitar. Like, they actually were somethings.
I think Shawn Mendes is probably one of the best voices out there currently. That's probably under 25.
You can't put somebody who doesn't have musical direction in those same categories and expect them to excel the way that Justin Bieber and Shawn Mendes did. There's just no way.
Right. I'm rooting for him. So
because you're an optimist. That's why.
Because I'm all about making money. That's why.
You think this is going to make money then?
I think he'll make some dollars.
So
for sure.
You need to write in your agenda to do a follow up when it comes out, because we will do a review.
Hey, I'm not
going to
buy the album, but I'll definitely stream it and check it out. That's for sure.
All right. In other news, did you hear about this one from the New York Post? A man posted a 143-mile-per-hour police chase on YouTube, and he got a motorcycle ban because who would have known that was not going to fly? I love his
crazy.
I love his mugshot. Like, oh,
he looks
I'm in
confused.
trouble. He does.
Yeah, like I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do this.
A motorcycle who ran from police at 143 miles an hour was caught when his own helmet cam video was spotted on YouTube, and he was banned from riding for 1 year.
That's crazy. I was going to say his mugshot looks almost like the face that my mom made when the woman at Chuck E. Cheese back in the day told her that like me and my 5 cousins couldn't ride on the same little like machine. Looks like very surprised and confused, but like he's only like kidding.
Yeah. Brian A. Bianco, he was arrested in July of last year, a few days after fleeing an officer who was approaching him when he was spotted making a turn without signaling and riding a bike without a registration plate in St. Charles, Illinois. The incident was included in a compilation video of motorcycles running from the police that was posted to the Fails and Fights YouTube account. That's a good one. In it, Bianco, who is waiting at a red light, turns his head toward the officer who is signaling for him to shut the motorcycle off. And instead, he pulls away through several parked cars, runs the light, and accelerates down the road.
He must have been accelerating pretty quick.
At which point are you realizing that this is not a good idea?
Right.
So anyway,
he was charged with several felonies, but
Yeah.
entered a deal last week where he pleaded guilty to misdemeanor reckless driving and agreed to perform 100 hours of community service and not to own a ride for 12 months like you mentioned. But yeah, I wonder if he's going to YouTube live that.
Yeah. Hey,
community service hours.
Word of advice, if you do something stupid or illegal, don't post it to YouTube. Someone will see it.
Or any other Facebook.
Or social media for that matter.
Did I say any other Facebook? Any other
Facebook.
social media, that's what I meant, exactly.
That's what you meant. All right. Well, we have a very special guest here today, and that's what the show is all about. It's about her. I want to tell you guys a little bit about her because it's kind of a big deal. So, Amanda McDonough, she is an actress. She's been on NBC's Bad Judge, ABC Family's Switched at Birth, Chris Lilly's pilot series Just Us Guys, and films such as Listen, which was directed by Michaela Higgins, and Silent Star, directed by Steven Sanders. Her films, Passengers and Loud and Clear, have gone on to show in various film festivals and win awards. Amanda's life story has even been the subject of documentaries. Did I say documentaries?
That's a new word.
Yeah, documentaries such as USC's Amanda. They literally did a documentary about her and called it Amanda.
That's awesome.
And radio broadcast stories such as KCRW's Silence. Amanda's first professional gig came at the age of 5. It was a national Honda commercial, and she's also an advocate for deaf rights, equal opportunity education, and animal rights. So, do you have our videos queued up by chance?
I was going to mention she would have loved.
Blake's in the engineer booth tonight. He's playing Candy Crush. So,
are you at least winning?
Yeah, are you winning, Blake? Are you winning Candy Crush?
No, not tonight.
Oh,
not tonight.
Man.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Farmville.
I'm still offended that you guys brought the Vine stars into this. You know, I have Vine blood. My brother actually got famous on Vine.
Who's your brother?
Anthony Trolley. You know that name?
Anthony Trolley.
Yeah.
I probably come across him because I was obsessed with Vine back in the day. So
I'm sorry to hear about that. But yeah, anyway.
Okay, well, he's gonna cue that up in a minute. But Amanda, how are you? While we're waiting.
I'm wonderful.
No, speak into the microphone.
I'm wonderful.
There it is. I can hear you now.
Oh wow! I still can't hear me, so it's all good. Deaf jokes.
That was a
Let's
deaf
make
joke.
them.
That's good. So you're deaf.
I am deaf.
You are deaf.
100% deaf in both ears.
Yeah. I sometimes forget, and we'll get to after we see this video. We'll get to how I first met Amanda, but people double take when you tell them you're deaf, or they find out you're deaf, right?
They usually fight me on it. Oh no, you're not deaf. You can talk. Just newsflash: my ears don't work. My vocal cords are.
So
fine.
they think that you don't know then, pretty much.
She doesn't know she's not deaf.
Right.
She doesn't know that she can actually hear
Right.
everything I'm saying.
That is hilarious.
Are we good, Blake?
Just about.
Well, I think we're going to have to come up with another question.
Yeah, man. Blake. Okay, Blake's ready. All right, so for all of you, what we were waiting for was the video. For all of you that are actually watching tonight on KCAARadio.com, you can actually watch this video to see a little of Amanda McDonough's work on film. Let's take a look. No music? Is it on mute?
So what music video is this?
You all get to experience this the same way I do.
Right.
So,
because sound is overrated.
Right.
And
This
you're
is
not
very
listening
authentic.
to the radio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the music's all
So
the way
what is
up
it
on
that
both
we're seeing right
computers.
now?
Right now, this is an episode of NBC's Bad Judge that I did.
yeah, the dimensions are all wrong
with Steve
too.
Walsh.
Oh, well, you know what? It looks good. That's okay. That's okay.
As long as I look pretty, that's
So
fine.
what
Yeah.
was your role on Bad Judge?
On Bad Judge, I played a sign language interpreter,
Okay.
which is ironic because the person playing a deaf person was actually somebody who could hear.
Right.
And I played a sign language interpreter who's supposed to be able to hear.
That is
and
funny.
I can't hear.
Right.
So I had a sign language interpreter with me on set.
Right.
Interpreting to the acting interpreter.
Right.
What everyone was saying.
So when you went home and told your family you booked that role, what did they think?
They were thrilled for
Right.
me, first of all. And they were like, so how are you going to pull that off?
Right.
And I was like, Mom, I've been convincing people that I understand and can hear them my entire life.
Right.
I got
That is
this.
funny.
Okay, well, let's get to the questions then. It's totally okay, Blake. Go back to Candy Crush.
We
It's
still love you. I hope
yeah.
you win.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, not winning.
All right, so here's a question for you, Amanda. For someone who is deaf, how often do you actually get out on auditions?
Oh, my goodness. That's a fantastic question. When it comes to the entertainment industry, we're still working on diversity in casting and diversity on TV and in film. That's one of the things I struggled with as a kid is I was so ashamed of my hearing loss. I was so ashamed
Wow.
of who I was
Right.
because there were no role models for me on TV or in film or
Right.
even in magazines for me to look up to. And it's still a running problem today. For a deaf actor, we may get 2 to 3 audition opportunities a year.
Wow.
And just to give you guys a comparison, many of my friends who have about the same amount of credits that I do on TV and film and
Right.
so on and so forth are doing 12 auditions a week.
Wow.
And I get maybe 3 to 4 auditions a
Mhm.
year. So it's a huge difference.
Right.
And then when they do have deaf roles or roles written for deaf characters, they're usually very stereotypical.
Right.
And then they'll cast a well-known hearing actor.
Mm-hmm.
And so all these stereotypes are just being reinforced because they're learning from the stereotypes.
Right.
So we're currently fighting.
I was going to mention, what's one way that you guys are fighting and moving this forward?
We have one movement called the #DeafTalent
Okay.
movement, which is helping to kind of let casting agents let the world know, hey, there are so many amazing, talented
Right.
deaf actors, actresses, deaf actors of color, tall actors, old actors, young actors, babies. Like we
Right.
cover all the spectrum.
Okay.
Deafness doesn't discriminate, so we have
Right. And what is it called? One more time you said.
#DeafTalent.
#DeafTalent. Gonna have to check that out for sure.
You can Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Awesome.
So I did research.
Oh my goodness!
I know, right? So according to the National Institution of Deafness and Other Communication Disorders, about 2 to 3 out of every 1,000 children in the U.S. are born with a detectable level of hearing loss in one or both ears. Now, with statistics like that, how often do you come across actors in the industry that have, I guess, a communication disorder?
That's a fun question. When actors do have any type of communication disorder, they tend to hide it. Most people, just even society today, over 50 million Americans today are living with significant hearing loss.
Wow.
But do we talk about it? No. You see someone with glasses, you're like, oh, that's normal, that's natural, similar statistics. But you see someone with hearing aids, and you're like, oh, what is that?
Right.
That is strange, that is weird, what is that? So in the entertainment industry, if you do have hearing loss or whatever, it's easier to just not talk about it.
Right.
Because it's kind of a taboo topic, so still,
Right.
which is why I wrote the book, to kind of help change that a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Amanda, we live in a day and age that has school shootings and teen suicides. They appear more frequent than they have in the past decades. For you growing up, did you ever get bullied?
So a little bit of my backstory to help explain this. When I was 4 years old, now I was the most confident kid you would ever meet in your life.
Right.
You were Miss Thang?
I was Miss Thing. I totally ruled over the preschool playground.
Right.
I decided who played, what
You
they
were
played,
running it?
and where they played.
Right.
And when I was about 4 years old, I did one of those, California standardized hearing tests at my preschool, and they recommended that my parents take me to a doctor to get
Right.
an official hearing test. And so that my parents did, and they weren't denial. They're like, no, my kid is smart. My kid can already read. My kid
Right.
has lots of friends, but she's good. And
So you got the confidence from the parents.
dads, they're just like building that ego up
Right.
Yeah.
from
Which
a
is
very
good
young
thing.
age.
Yeah.
But helps.
Right.
But anyway, so at the same time that I started acting and booked my first national Honda commercial, I was going to the doctor and being diagnosed for the first time with hearing loss.
Wow.
And I'm 4 or 5 years old. I don't understand what that means.
Right.
And I don't understand what's happening. All I understand is that now that I have this hearing loss thing, everyone's looking at me different. Everyone's
Right.
treating me different. I'm no longer like, go Amanda, you got this. You're not gonna have a problem in life. Now everyone's all of a sudden treating me like a China doll. Like, oh, she's
Right.
breakable. She's disabled. There's something wrong with her. And I hated how that made me feel. I didn't
Okay.
realize that I was losing my hearing.
Right.
It didn't feel different or weird to me.
Yeah.
So I swore my parents to secrecy. I figured, denial 101, if
At 4 years old? This was at 4
at 4 years old, yeah.
Wow.
I decided that if no one knew I was different, they wouldn't treat me different, and therefore I wouldn't be different.
Right.
Ta-da!
Isn't it funny when you're a kid, you want to be like everyone else, and when you're older, you kind of
You want to stand out.
want to
be
stand
different.
out. Yeah, and that
Yeah.
becomes something that it's like your selling point almost, which I think is awesome. So, my bad for interrupting.
Oh, no, please. Interrupt me all you want. It's your show, not mine.
Well,
so,
it's actually my show, but yeah.
oh, I'm sorry. It's his show. We're just like arm candy.
Right.
today.
Arm candy. Many boys buy arm candy.
Arm candy. I'm like a red vine around the arm.
Yeah. Okay,
So you were
yeah,
so
you're
you
right.
didn't finish that
Oh.
if you were like bullied in school.
So I now had hearing loss, and I swore my parents to secrecy. So I literally spent 18 years of my life,
Wow.
as my hearing gradually declined, hiding it from the entire world. My teachers, friends, family members, no one knew. that
So
I
you
had
were
hearing.
still partially able to hear during like grade school?
Yes.
Okay.
So I started losing my hearing at 4 years old, and as I got older, my hearing just continued to
Wow.
decrease. And the doctors couldn't tell me why, how, or if it would continue to decrease.
Right.
It was just come back every 6 months and get a test, and we'll tell you if it's worse or not. That's it.
Right.
They couldn't do anything.
I was
for
going to
me.
mention something which is kind of a random story, but when I was in elementary school, I don't know if the tests that you took in your schools were the same as the ones we took out here, but I think anytime you heard like a beep, you like pressed the clicker.
Yeah.
And I never knew that until I was 15 that you were actually supposed to press it each time that you heard it, but I guess I was really good at like pretending I knew what I was doing, like pressing it, because they never said anything, but like I always felt so stupid. Like I found out like after doing it for 10 years that I never knew that I was doing it wrong.
That's
So,
funny.
so
Yeah.
they say when you lose a sense that, or if you don't have a sense, the other ones become more enhanced. So do you have like a super sight or like an amazing smell sense? I guess not super sight because you're wearing glasses, but I mean,
My eyesight is terrible.
but I mean, like, do you have anything else that's like heightened?
I have an insane sense of smell.
Nice.
I can smell a pizza from like 5 miles away.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Especially when I want pizza.
Right.
But I also have the ability to lip read, which is an amazing, very, very unique skill.
I
Yeah.
think that's pretty amazing. I'm watching you when Andrew's talking.
Yeah.
Sometimes he talks kind of quick. And so I noticed you're like keeping up with, she's saying, oh, yes.
Yeah.
You're keeping up with his lips. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So I want to share with everyone now the story on how I met Amanda. Okay. So when I was doing music in LA religiously, and actively. I got the gig of being a music producer, music supervisor for a upcoming pilot show that was going to be shot to television. And Amanda was in the show. She was cast. You were Skylar's girlfriend, right? In the show? Yeah.
I played Beth.
Okay. She played Beth. Skylar Seymour, shout out. She played his girlfriend on the show. So I had never met Amanda, nor was I told who Amanda was other than she played the girlfriend. I didn't know anything else about her. So there was this cast party. And I thought, it'd be fun to go meet everybody, instead of just working with the producers and such. So I went. Amanda was there. I was introduced to her. She was one of the cast members. When I first met her, I'm excited. I'm doing my thing, talking and everything. And somehow, like 20 minutes into the conversation, it was brought up, she's deaf, right? And I thought it was a joke. I literally thought, well, that's funny. Yeah.
So were you is he one of the guys that you were talking about that tells you you're not deaf, you talk?
Yes.
He absolutely 100% is.
It turned into an argument.
That is hilarious.
So here I am meeting Amanda 20 minutes into knowing her. I'm having an argument with her on whether or not she's deaf or not because I didn't believe she was deaf because she was so articulate and I know I talk so fast. There's no way this woman could be deaf.
Right.
But then I realized that she brought a friend with her as we're having this argument back and forth. And I realized that as I was talking to Amanda, the friend was actually to my side signing to her. And she did keep looking over to the friend at times. So I thought the friend was just like talking trash about me or something. And then it slowly hit me, this woman is deaf. And I was like,
so what was your first thought then in your head?
After that, oh my gosh, you're deaf. Like it totally hit me. She is deaf. And it was incredible. It was an incredible moment because I've never met someone like Amanda who was so articulate and who was able to, as you said, growing up, hide it so well. Like she did not use that in the beginning. Hi, my name's Amanda, and I'm a deaf girl. It was something that I had discovered without even realizing it, and it was just an moment for me.
So now, when someone tells you that they're deaf, do you believe them?
I absolutely believe them because who knows?
Right.
I'm glad I could turn that into a teaching moment.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a teaching moment, but I mean, granted, I still have not met someone as unique as Amanda, so I do think there's some special something to you, and the whole book, which we're going to get to after the commercial break, I think people are going to want to know more about all of this and get the book. So we're going to take we're going to take a quick commercial break and come back with Amanda McDonough right here on the WeTube radio show. It's KCAA 102.3, 106.5, and 1050 AM NBC News Radio. We'll be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292 FQ Riverside, and K293 CF Moreno Valley.
This is Dick from Carpet Masters. Carpet Masters has been serving the Inland Empire for over 60 years. We are locally owned and operated by the Stevens family. We not only clean carpet and furniture, we clean many loose rugs, including Oriental rugs. Oriental rugs are cleaned in our modern facility where the fringes are cleaned by hand, then hung in our modern facility to dry. We do not use steam cleaning to clean your fine furniture. Furniture is cleaned by hand using the same absorption cleaning used in the White House. Some furniture we bring into our plant to clean properly. We normally use 2 men on each cleaning job using the extraction method. There is nothing that will clean carpet better for our customers. Our job is to clean properly with quality first. Google Carpet Masters San Bernardino and give us a call, or go to carpetmasterssocal.com.
When Michelle lost her job, her home, and her children because of her addiction, she was desperate to make a change. She felt hopeless. Then she discovered Cedar House Life Change Center in Bloomington. Their staff showed Michelle how to live drug-free and be the mother she always knew she could be. You know what it feels like to be trapped in your addiction? Too many people in our community feel that way every day. That's why Cedar House is here to help with a range of residential and outpatient care. To support the mission of recovery, visit cedarhouse.org, where they say, "Come grow with us."
We now return to the WeTube radio show right here on NBC News Radio. Here's your host, Andrew Caravella and Manny Boy Sandoval.
Welcome back to the WeTube radio show. It's Andrew Caravella and
Manny Boy Sandoval.
My side candy, arm candy?
Arm candy.
Arm
I'm
candy.
a Red Vine or a Twizzler. Which one should I be? And we also have the amazing Amanda McDonough here in the studio live with us.
And we're going to talk. She's an actress. She's a motivational speaker, and she's an author. And the second half of this interview is going to be talking about her book. I want to read the back. Oh, it's right here. I had to bring it up because I was freaking out. Like, I need my script, but I'm going to read a little bit of the back of the book here because you guys just listen, okay? When author Amanda McDonough started losing her hearing at the age of 4, she swore her parents to secrecy. She hid her hearing loss for 18 years, so her whole childhood, from her friends, family, teachers, and acquaintances. As the author grew older, her hearing gradually decreased, causing her to begin struggling in school, in her relationships with family and friends, and with her identity. And by 22 years of age, she could no longer rely on her wit to hide her hearing loss. She became 100% deaf in both ears. Amanda found herself unable to hear, talk, lip read, or sign. Her only method of communication with the world was through writing. Wow. Oh, and you did acting on top of that. What of all of the fields, the most judgmental one next to modeling that you could have done, you chose to continue with acting through all of that. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was doing commercials, television shows. No one had a clue that I couldn't hear anything that was happening. I just was very observant. But yeah, I like to choose the hardest thing. What's the hardest thing you can possibly do as a deaf woman? Right. Oh, Mom, I'm going to do singing. I'm going to do acting. I'm going to do live theater. Let's do musicals. Why not?
Right. Yeah. Motivational speaking.
Motivational speaking. Yeah.
That's tough.
Speaking of motivational speaking, when you go out and speak, are people, the large crowds, automatically pretty surprised when you go out there and start speaking?
Sometimes it really depends on the crowd. I do resilience training for the Air Force. I do motivational speaking for colleges, corporations, high schools, elementary schools, even like preschools. Yeah. And depending on the crowd, I'll either start my speeches in just sign language, and everyone will just be like, is she going to talk? Oh my God. She can't talk. Or sometimes I'll just start talking perfect, unaccented English, and then just throw in halfway through, oh yeah, by the way, I'm deaf.
Wow.
Like, just because it's fun for me.
Right. That's pretty entertaining.
So if you're watching at KCAAradio.com, this is the book. It's not out yet, but I got it right here. Let's talk about the book. What is it about?
It is about really my journey finding myself and my identity, and people don't talk about hearing loss a lot, and growing up, it was really isolating and painful. Not just, doctors treat it as a medical issue, but really it's an identity issue. It's something that you have to emotionally navigate. Any type of loss, any type of trying to figure out who you are.
Did it drive you crazy sometimes because you didn't have an outlet? Like how do you release this secret that you and your mom and dad are just holding in, like your aunts, your uncles, your cousins? No one who's supposed to be the closest for family, no one else knows this. So how do you go 18 years without not having like a nervous breakdown?
Art, theater, singing, acting, poetry, writing, any type of art I could find, any art class I could take, any club I could join, I would. I don't know how kids nowadays are going to manage without, theater and music and all those classes at school, because those kept me sane and kept me creative and motivated.
I was going to ask, after writing your book, I'm sure you even learned something through writing it that you didn't know about yourself. What was that?
It was really therapeutic to write it and realize how far I've come from being someone who hid my hearing loss and was ashamed to it, to now sitting in front of you being a proud deaf woman, fluent in both English and sign language, who speaks, and, I know who I am now. Right. And that there's so much power in that. And I think that's something that a lot of people still, no matter what it is you're going through, struggle with. And it was really beautiful writing that and seeing from point A to, I'm only counting this as point B because I'm still only 28. I have a lot of life to live. To point B, how far I've already come. So
that's awesome.
It was really humbling.
How long did it take you to write?
There were about 3 versions of this book before this version that were
So this is 4th edition.
The 4th edition.
Okay, got it.
The 2018 4th edition.
Yeah, the first one was terrible.
So when did you start writing it?
I started writing it about 3 years, 3.5 years ago.
I always hear stuff about other people when they're like, I wrote a book. I have so much respect for authors now because you see how much work goes into it, and it seems like there's tons of time is what it is, right?
It's crazy. I thought I would sit down and, type some stuff at Starbucks and I'd be done and just hand it off to someone and be good.
Right, and this isn't self-published. I mean, you got a publisher. This is ready to go national next month. How does that work? Like, how did you get a publisher to say, yeah, we ready to be heard. We need your story to be out there.
I love that
easily.
title.
How many doors did you knock on? I mean,
every single door I could find.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing in my life has ever been easy. It's always fighting tooth and nail for every opportunity, every moment in the spotlight. And so with this book, it's exactly the same thing. And now everyone's, books aren't as popular as they used to be. I mean, this isn't Jane Austen. We don't all have libraries in our homes, and that's not what we do to keep ourselves entertained. So
speak for yourself. No, I don't have a library. I don't.
I was also going to ask, so what is something that a reader could take away from that, from your book?
Actually, there's a lot of things. I actually wrote an entire section in the back. It's called the Hearing Loss Handbook.
Okay.
And it is just information on how to live with hearing loss, tips and tricks for at school, in the workplace.
Right.
Not just people who have hearing loss, but people who have friends with hearing loss, grandparents, coworkers.
Right.
So everything from what to do, what not to do, what to say, to what not to say to a deaf person, Andrew.
Right. I was going to mention that
there's a whole chapter on people like me and what not to say.
It's dedicated to Andrew
I'm thinking about
Caravella.
retitling it in the second draft and being the what not to do, like Andrew.
Right. Yeah, like
exactly.
Andrew, like the Andrew complex or whatever. Yeah.
I was gonna mention, I bet your book would be very good for parents of children with hearing loss to read, to understand what it is that they're going through and feel. So I think that's amazing.
I'm really hoping so. Just knowing their emotional journey and not just, oh, hey, I know what a doctor puts in front of me, but what is my kid thinking and feeling, what's going on with them?
So, like being thrown on the deep end, you knew something was happening and you were losing your hearing over the course of 18 years. And then there you are, 22 years old, you are now deaf. No education with ASL. What is that like? Like, what is that 18-year struggle like to that point where it's like, now I need to communicate the way that all deaf people communicate. I'm an adult, and I don't know what that looks like.
It was absolutely terrifying, and because nothing in my life was ever easy, it all happened in one night. Like, I went to sleep relying on the very little hearing I had left for everything, from communicating with my family and friends to I was in college, I was going to classes, to waking up the next morning and having 100% hearing loss in both ears. But that same time, I had surgery. I had a tonsillectomy, which made me mute. So I was unable to talk. I could hear absolutely nothing. I did not know how to lip read. I did not know sign language. Literally the only way I could communicate was this whiteboard that I hung around my neck, and people would write, "Are you hungry?" and I would write yes or no. And here I am. I just finished 3 years of college. I have one more year to go, one more. And I felt like my life was over. Like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to overcome this? And it actually, I taught myself to talk again. I taught myself to lip read. I talk in the book about how I did that.
Do you lip read in school? No, like with professors, or like is it just regular classes that you attend? In
the classes, before I lost, I've been 100% deaf, when I still was in complete denial that I had hearing loss at all and refused to tell anyone. I would lip read in class. And then after, I actually worked with the Disability Resource Center and got court captioners in my classes. So they would type up what the professors were saying so that I could graduate from school.
That's probably really important, because I'm sure a lot of students are afraid to contact the Disability Center, and every college campus has that. So once you did that, it made it a lot easier than I'm sure, right? Because you weren't struggling just on your own. They have the help that you need. So
absolutely.
I think that's so important.
And yeah, my grades definitely went up.
That's amazing.
Could you read a favorite expert excerpt, rather. Favorite expert in the book. Favorite excerpt from the book.
Sure, absolutely.
Just so people can hear it in your own words.
So this section is when I was a kid and I was in elementary school, and I was in love with music, and I was still looking for more ways to express myself through music and art and acting. And so I'll just read it to you. As I grew up, my hearing continued to progressively decline, with no obvious triggers. It happened so gradually at first that I hardly noticed. It was little things that started to feel different. I realized everyone in the room was reacting to something that I hadn't heard. A missed word here, or a soft sound where a loud one should be there. Little moments that began to add up. In 4th grade, I decided to learn how to play the violin. It seemed like an elegant and romantic instrument. My parents supported this new way of expressing myself and rented me an old violin from a local music store to learn on. I was a quick study. I loved the feeling of the bow in my delicate hands. I loved the feeling of the vibrations passing through the body of the violin, touching my chin. But most of all, I loved the sound. To me, there was no sweeter or more pure sound than the ones that came out of the violin. The instrument itself simply bled a romantic, melodic, sweet lullaby that had me mesmerized. I was so proud when I mastered my first song in that violin, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. It may not seem like much, but every day I would rush home and practice. My parents saw how dedicated I'd become, and after I had been playing for nearly 2 years on a hand-me-down rental instrument, they decided to surprise me with my very own brand-new violin that coming Christmas. I could not have been more excited when I saw that black violin box beneath the Christmas tree with a big red bow on it. I took it out and played my parents a tune. It felt so different in my hands, and the sound that resonated from it was clearer and crisper than that of the second-hand violin I had become accustomed to. I loved it, and it was mine. One morning during winter break, I woke up and something felt different. I got out of bed and opened up the slick black violin case with the red bows still proudly wrapped around it. I lifted the freshly finished wood up to my shoulder and placed it on my chin. I can still remember the smell of the smooth new wood beneath my nose. My bow came to rest on the strings when I gently slid it across the instrument, playing a C. Nothing happened. I applied more pressure to the bow and tried again. Again, nothing happened. For a moment, I panicked. I thought, I broke it. Dad is going to kill me. Then, a second later, an even more terrifying thought hit me. I turned up my hearing aids, changed the note, applied more pressure, and tried one last time. I could feel it, the vibrations dancing through the wood under my chin, but I heard nothing. In one heartbreaking moment, my favorite sound in the world was gone forever, and with it, a little piece of me was lost.
Wow.
That is so sad, Amanda.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. I don't know what to say right now.
How does it make you feel reading that?
It's
Like,
crazy because I'm reading it and I can still feel it.
Right.
I felt it.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Blake, give me a damn tissue. Oh, my God.
It's not all depressing, I promise.
No, I understand.
Wiping up my own, man.
Okay, as soon as you're
It
done with the tissue
definitely
box.
shows the journey that you've been through, because what's written in there is very different from who you seem to be today, you know, and I think that's amazing. You even mentioned it yourself. You feel like you've done a complete 180 from where you were when you first lost 100% hearing in both of your ears. And
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. It's so inspiring, too.
I want to ask another question. I have known people that in society where society deems them handicapped or disabled. And I've seen those same amazing people take those, quote, disabilities and turn it into a gift. So I want to know, in your own personal thoughts, how your deafness is a gift in your life.
Becoming deaf is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I know that sounds completely crazy to somebody listening to me on the radio right now. But honestly, becoming deaf it gave me a home. It gave me an identity. Becoming deaf, accepting my deafness, gave me a community support. It gave me a beautiful language that I can use everywhere I go. It gave me a purpose in my life. I mean, I could have, just stayed that stuck-up little preschooler, but instead, losing my hearing gave me the gift of empathy. It allowed me to see the world in a completely different, much more in-depth, beautiful way, and really connect with people so much better. So, and that's why I do the speaking engagements, and that's why I wrote the book, because I want people to be able to connect with anyone that same way.
Going to mention, for people out there listening who may know someone who is deaf, what is something that you would tell your younger self today if you were able to give any piece of advice to when you first found out you were completely no hearing?
So like 22-year-old me or little me? 22-year-old me, just keep swimming. Keep going. You are going to be fine. This is not the end of the world. This is just the beginning of a new chapter.
Right. Wow.
What would you told 4-year-old you? Suck it up.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
No,
You're in for a long ride, kid. A long ride.
Probably the same thing. Like, you got this. Just breathe. Keep going.
Right.
It's really all you can do in these situations.
I'm so interested. You mentioned music a lot and the violin in your book. What kind of music are you into personally?
God. Why would you bring that up on air?
And if you could, why not?
Because we talked about it off air and I wasn't happy with what she said.
We did talk about it off air, but we got to fill you guys in.
Okay, I'm going to elaborate.
Yeah, go ahead. Sky's
Poor
the limit.
Andrew.
Yeah.
So right now I'm listening to, so I have a cochlear implant. So I basically have this machine implanted in my head that allows me to hear, not in a natural way that you guys hear, but I am working on training it to understand music. Okay. So right now I have Taylor Swift's newest CD on repeat in my car.
Right.
On repeat?
No, that's the only, it's a CD. I have a CD in my car.
Okay.
Yeah. Old school. But
so what's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Oh,
favorite.
God.
Your favorite Taylor Swift song?
She wrote a song about me, you know.
What was it called?
The one that says the name Andrew or Drew in it. That's about me.
You know what's so funny about
Unofficially.
that is...
Drew looks at me.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, teardrops on my guitar.
Yes!
I could do Taylor Swift trivia.
Oh, gosh. Not on this show.
It's funny.
Not on this show.
Back in the day, you know, like songs would always say like boy. Usually girl songs would say the word like boy in it.
Yeah.
My nickname is Boy, Manny Boy Sandoval.
So every song's about you.
My little brothers would always be like, why do they always say boy's name in all the songs? Like, why don't they ever say Buddy? Like, my younger brother's name is Buddy. They're like, why don't they say Buddy in the song? But, so your favorite?
Well, right now I'm doing a show of Romeo and Juliet live theater. So probably that song that she does about like Romeo, Take Me.
Oh, so you liked her country stuff
right
then,
now,
right? Okay.
I like a little bit of everything. I'm into rock, rap. I listen to a lot of musical
I like
theater.
That. Love that you said rap. Who's your favorite rap artist?
It's not Cameron Dallas.
You did say you're from Pomona.
I am from Pomona.
And proud of it.
I actually grew up pretty close to where Snoop Dogg lives.
Snoop Dogg?
Chino Hills area? Is that where he's? No. Is that where he's from?
No, he lives in Diamond Bar now.
Oh, is he Diamond Bar? I didn't know that. Okay.
I lived on the border, Pomona and Diamond Bar.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. But you have to remember, I stopped really being able to hear music naturally back in like 2008, 2009.
Okay.
So my favorite rapper's still Eminem.
Yeah.
Nice.
Go classic.
He's a good one.
Lose yourself
the real
in
Slim
the music, the
right?
moment you want. Yeah.
That's a song. Okay, that makes it for Taylor. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I've redeemed myself. Yes.
It's Amanda McDonough, Ready to Be Heard. It comes out July 23rd nationwide.
Wow.
Amazon,
Barnes and
Nobles,
your local mom and pop
your
shop.
local mom and pop shop.
Are you nervous?
I'm so nervous. Especially in today. I mean, we have social media. We put our lives out there for everybody to judge. I am literally just like ripping open my chest, taking out my heart and going like, here you guys, please don't kill it.
Are you going to do a book tour?
I am.
Yeah.
Nice. Where can anybody go, including us?
Social media.
Social media, go to Ready to Be Heard. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Nice.
Just look up Ready to Be Heard, and there we are. We also, you can sign up for, we're doing pre-orders on Amazon exclusively.
Okay. Nice.
Starting in 1 week or 2 weeks, but we'll announce that on www.readytobeheard.com.
There you go.
And we have a newsletter, so you can sign up for that and get all the updated stuff. Red carpet events, book signings, the works.
So when's all that
And I got the exclusive. I just want to let everyone know. Yeah.
What week is all that unraveling?
I'm sorry.
What week is the release?
Okay, well, we're starting with a big red carpet release event at Pasadena Playhouse. We're partnering with them, and that's going to be on the 22nd with exclusive ticket sales that you can only get on readytobeheard.com.
Okay.
There'll be like celebrities and all that fun stuff there. But then we'll be doing pre-orders in the next couple of weeks exclusively on Amazon. Okay. And my goal has always been, in a perfect world.
In a perfect world.
Amanda's going to be a New York Times bestselling author, and you can help her.
Oh, my gosh. Can we have, like, a party if that happens?
Oh, my gosh. Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm coming.
I've only known you today, but I better be invited to that party.
We can carpool.
He just invited himself.
Exactly, yeah.
We'll carpool there. It'll be easy on gas.
Sounds good.
Okay. Manny's like, no. So, yeah, no, let's hope. Let's put that out there. Ready to be heard. Okay. It's coming out next month. Amanda McDonough. We're going to do a segment real quick called What's Trending.
Ooh.
What's trending? Everyone is confusing their dogs with the hashtag #WhatTheFluff_challenge. Have you heard of this?
I have not. You're filling me in.
You hold a big sheet between you and your dog, and then you run away as soon as you drop the sheet. The dog will think you've completely disappeared.
No way.
It's all over Facebook. It's all over YouTube right now.
That's pretty mean.
That's mean.
I've actually seen the video, and it's like hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
it is pretty funny.
I used to do that when I was a kid, and I really wanted to be a magician when I was a child, and I would like put a whole comforter over me.
What was your
stage? Run.
What was your stage name?
I didn't have one then, but I love magic, and I still want to be a magician. That's my goal.
The Magnificent Manny Boy.
Nah, we need something a little more hard, like a little cooler than that.
A little cooler.
Yeah.
All right, you have to come up with it then, because.
Right, that'll be my name on here next week.
There you go. We'll put it together. All right, we have one more segment to close out the show here with Amanda called Two Truths and a Lie. And pretty much how this game works is you have to tell us two truths about yourself and a lie, and then we have to guess what it is. And then Manny Boy will go, and then I will go, and we'll do the same suit.
Okay.
So we'll start with you. Two truths and a lie.
All right.
In any order you want.
Okay. Two truths and a lie. I sing in a rock band.
Sing in a rock band.
I sing jazz at the House of Blues.
Sing jazz at the House of Blues.
And I ride horses professionally.
Ride horses professionally.
Okay, I'm going to go first.
Okay, go.
The first truth is...
Oh, you just guessed the lie.
Oh, yes. The lie is that you ride horses professionally.
I'm going to say the lie is you ride horses professionally.
Gosh, I'm really bad at this game. But yes,
We're just that good.
We're just that good.
Okay. So...
Two truths and a lie, Manny
Two
boy.
truths and a lie. I got threatened to get arrested this weekend in Vegas.
Ooh.
The second one is that I am really good at lying.
Okay.
The third one is that I know how to speak 3 different languages.
I'm going to say you know how to speak 3 different languages is a lie.
Really? Because the really kind of had me doubting the really good at lying thing.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with that as your lie.
Really good at lying? I'm actually really good at lying. I was just adding the really to throw you guys off. But yeah, so the lie is I know 3 different languages.
Oh. See, there was a moment where I thought, oh, he might be telling the truth.
Right.
But I don't know. Okay. Here's my 2 truths and a lie. I was vegan for an entire year. I used to own a poodle. And got to make this one good. Really throw you guys off the trail.
Just say really.
Yeah, that'll trick me.
I ran into Queen Latifah in downtown LA.
I know what the lie is.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Say it one more time.
I was vegan for a full year. I used to own a poodle, and I've ran into Queen Latifah in downtown LA.
You owned a poodle for sure. I've seen it on Facebook. What is the lie? Is that the first one? What was that?
I was vegan for a year?
Vegan for a year.
Okay.
I don't know. I could see him totally trying veganism for a year.
Really?
But I have a hard time seeing him own a poodle. I would see if I have like a German Shepherd or something.
I love how the Queen Latifah, everyone is like, yeah, that's definitely true.
I think you've seen Queen Latifah.
Yeah, that does not surprise me.
The Queen. I love Queen Latifah.
Okay, so yes, it is true. I have ran into Queen Latifah in downtown LA. Don't know what she was doing down there. I was shopping. I have never owned a poodle.
Wow. I was
so
wrong.
I was vegan for a year. Yes!
I redeemed myself.
How dare you not think I have any self-control, Manny boy?
Yeah, I mean, can only go up from here, right?
Right, can only go up for here. Hey, everybody, I'm Andrew Caravella.
And I'm Manny Boy Sandoval.
You can follow me on air, Andrew, everywhere on social media.
And you can follow me at Manny Boy Sandoval all over social media as well.
And Amanda McDonough.
That's me. And you can follow me at Amanda McDonough all over social media.
All over social media. Go check out readytobeheard.com to find out more about Amanda's book. She's all over the place, and she's going to be exploding in
she
July.
Might just be at a book signing near you guys, so make sure you stay up to date. What's the website again?
It's readytobeheard.com.
Awesome.
And you know what? She is ready to be heard. So make sure you check out this girl and what she's got going on. But that's all we got here for NBC News Radio on KCAA, 1050 AM, The Legacy.
See you next Tuesday at...
I have two other radio stations, 102.3
I'll
FM.
see you next Tuesday.
And 106.5 FM. It's Manny Boy and Andrew. Later.
KCAA.
On the first part of the journey, I was looking at all the life. There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rain. The first thing I met was a fly with a buzz and the sky with no clouds. The heat was hot and the ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can remember your name, because there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la. After 2 days in the desert sun, my skin began to turn red. After 3 days in the desert fun, I was looking at a riverbed, and the story it told of a river that flowed made me sad to think it was dead. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.